It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Yeah, if I retire from rapping, how many of y'all really miss me? My swing is incredible, feel like Timberland and Missy. Some niggas owe me money for the style, bitch, I'm Fendi, that's a double entendre. Y'all better put some respect on me, DJ, and be like Jesus and Meryl. I'm a king, I'm a pharaoh, frequently leading this era. Greatness be seeping through the mirror, hold my image and my likeness. My family tree strong as Osiris, I bought hard on them haters like tendonitis. Been my own man, creating avenues like Rosecrans. Y'all niggas stick to the script, I switch up the program. I hold bands in both hands and slow dance with your main chick, no romance, I'm so advanced. If I tell you hit the bricks, I mean it. I hate extra niggas around me, shit is inconvenient. I'm sitting in the image, my head getting bigger than freedom. We sing it for freedom, the money weighing in like Keenan. A record sale. I flip streams of income like heads or tails. I spit crack like eggshells. Your girl stay chirping like Nextel. The block stay buzzing like I'm serving a fish scale. Either make a purchase or serve a purpose. The boy blaze trails like Nick Nurkic. Shout it type thick like 6 burgers. If she don't feel the kid, it's a disservice. I'm pinning more hits than Keith Urban. This shit working. Had to steal the beat from flow. I don't keep it low. Best on either coast. Try me, you could be a ghost. Slick like nematode. Swing like Ichiro. Now you trying to sell a fake book. What you be Simone? If they rapping, I don't trust them. Try to stab me in the back, my chiropractor gon' adjust them. Anytime you play a beat, I'm just enhancing the production. With the way I eat, I got to hand you that concussion. Ain't no justice.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. In this video, we're going to be getting into the Clipse. All right, which I didn't expect to be doing a Clipse video today. I was hopeful that I would, but I didn't have it in my plans. But now we have a new piece circulating about So Be It. Right now, y'all know So Be It was the second single from Let God Sort 'Em Out. Unfortunately, we only had the music video, so for a couple weeks it was not on streaming platforms, and people were wondering what was the method to the madness. Unfortunately, it was due to sample clearance issues. And that's So Be It Part 2 that we ended up seeing at the Louis Vuitton show, and also had temporarily on the album when it released, was never intended to be the final version. It was never intended to be the version that we got in the first place. It was all because of the sample, and it was cutting it too close to the release date that they already had scheduled. So I guess if they were trying to get it on, like seamless, they would have probably had to push the album back at least by a week, which would have thrown off the rollout. I think we would have lived, but there was so much anticipation based on that date that they didn't change it. And I'm not mad at them for not changing it. You know what I'm saying? I got my Clipse gear. And also, once again, I've got the album here, right? Now, what I noticed today is when I opened up the packaging for the album that came in the mail, So Be It is not on this version that they sent out. Now, I don't know if it's going to be on yours, but I think based on the time that it went into production for them to press these up, I don't think the sample was cleared. And I'm guessing that the Pharrell remix Part 2 also wasn't complete, because it's completely missing from this version. This version has 12 songs rather than 13. Right? So shout out to Z, shout out to the homie from Twitter. He's got an interview with Steven Victor in which they go into the story of how all of this came about. This is a Twitter thread. This is how he releases his interviews now. But Swizz Beatz is the one who came to the rescue to allow So Be It to end up getting cleared and subsequently added back to the album. All right, so we're on Z's thread here. Shout out to Brian. He says Clipse dropped the video for So Be It on June 17th, but the song didn't hit DSPs until after they released their new album on 7/11. That was not their original plan. To get the backstory, I spoke with Clipse manager Steven Victor. It turns out Swizz Beatz saved the day. All right. So he says the original version of So Be It samples Maza Akulu by Saudi legend Talal Maddah. Pharrell first heard the song on Swizz Beatz Instagram, according to Pusha T, in an interview with MSNBC's Ari Melber. I'm going to go ahead and run the clip since it's on here. No pun intended, but we're not going to play the sample because clearly that's an issue.
Working with Pharrell, and how does he bring that material to you?
Man, you know, the story of that song, shout out the power of Instagram and the internet. That song was that sample was on Swizz Beatz Instagram page. And Pharrell heard it and just called him like, what the hell is that? Like, what is that? And I guess, you know, he sent him the record or whatever it is, and he was like, I'm making something with that. And, you know, Clipse were the recipients of greatness. But, you know, I think P is always looking for something that sounds futuristic, something that sounds unorthodox, something that just is kind of polarizing. And, you know, when you have like a polarizing start like that, you know, it kind of dictates how hard and how crazy.
All right, so that's the clip of Pusha T telling us how Pharrell got the sample off Swizz Beatz Instagram. He liked what he was hearing. He had Swizz send it to him. He chopped it up, did the reverse shit on it, and history was made. This shit is fire. You know what I mean? It takes us back to a time when, I mean, it just sounds big. You know what I mean? It sounds like hip hop. It sounds like 2000s hip hop when times were better, when people's income was a little bit better. The meals were a little bit heartier. They stuck to your ribs a little bit more at the time. Kids played outside. Niggas was working on a jump shot. Niggas was juking tackles. You know what I mean? It just felt different back then. We'll continue. So they say the original plan was to release the video and the song to DSPs at the same time. But when the clearance process stalled, Clipse were forced to pivot, holding back the commercial release and only sharing the video on YouTube and social media. Now, they could have easily probably decided that they weren't going to release it at all. They could have held on to it until it came out at a later time. But, I mean, they already had Ace Trumpets out. This was their slated second single. I understand why it was the second single. It made sense that it would be the second single. So I guess they said, shit, man, we're going to put it out and we'll figure it out later. You know what I mean? At bare minimum, we're going to get this process rolling so that we don't fuck up the plan, right? So they drop it on YouTube. The song goes crazy. Video goes crazy. Excellent video, by the way, which is also a thing, right? Like, we've had a lot of uninteresting music videos dropping over the last few years. It ain't just a couple years. The last 5 years from big name acts. Like, it's okay to have like underwhelming videos from smaller acts that got small budgets, but you want mainstream, well-known acts to, you know, put a little bit more love and care into their product. So they delivered on that front. Moving forward, they say we connected with Rock Nation and we were like, hey, we have this issue. So now this is past the Def Jam setbacks and all that. They out of the deal. They link with Rock. And they say, hey, we have this issue because we don't have this clearance. What do we do? They considered changing up their rollout plan and releasing a different music video instead, as I was just talking about, right? So they thought about it. It ran through their heads, but they stuck to it. With the Maza Akulu sample clearance in limbo, Pharrell produced an alternate version of the song So Be It Part 2 with different production and no sample. In the event, the clearance never came. So we might have, you know, in case it didn't go through correctly, we might have been stuck with So Be It Part 2, right? With the more orchestral buildup and all that stuff going on. They say on the day Let God Sort 'Em Out was due for release, Steven received a call from Swizz Beatz, who had the song originally, right? So the day the day the album was dropping, Steven Victor, that's Clipse manager, that's not Pharrell, but Pusha T's manager on his own solo stuff as well. He gets a call. Swizz Beatz says, "Why didn't you call me about So Be It?" Steven says, "I told him I did. I sent it to you." He said, "I didn't realize it was that record. Let me handle it." This is where it pays to have friends in high places. Okay? As fate would have it, Swizz was scheduled to fly to Saudi Arabia that day. He said, "I'll connect with the right people in person and get it resolved." And that's exactly what he did. So he literally went to the source and found out who he needed to talk to in order to get the thing sorted out. And it did. Now, if that ain't some super fly Jimmy Snuka movie shit, because who would have known that he was going to be flying out that exact day, able to save it by the end of the night? They say Swizz isn't just connected to a handful of people in Saudi Arabia, he's embedded in the country. His creative agency, Good Intentions, is based in Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia, and he even runs a camel racing team called Saudi Bronx. Never knew anything about that. I did know I got some music placed on his TV show, though. Salute. It didn't come through in time for the album's midnight release on 7/11, but Swizz stepped in and helped secure the sample clearance. Once they received approval, Roc Nation issued a metadata update to all DSP partners, replacing the alternate version with the original. Okay, so by the next day or something, it was back to normal. But the night of the release, we had part 2. Moving forward, they say because the clearance came too late for production, the original So Be It and Tyler's verse on POV didn't make the first vinyl pressing, but they plan to fix that. Steven Victor says, "Yeah, we'll probably do a round with those included." Now, again, coming back to this album that I got today, it is missing So Be It, and this is the CD. It's missing So Be It, and also on the POV, it does not label Tyler the Creator as a feature on it. All the other features are listed. So there's that also. Tyler the Creator's verse on POV is not on the first round of pressing. Okay, so it's not on the vinyl. It's clearly not on this CD, but they do plan to do a reissue with everything finalized and redone. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully everything works out with that. Z says, clearance issues can derail a rollout, but with So Be It, it worked to their advantage. Releasing it only on social and YouTube, where consumption and conversation feed each other, helped spark a groundswell of support for the album, for sure. And, you know, I definitely gotta say, the reaction community, the YouTube community, the social media community, everybody came together to push this album. Some people say it was a Roc Nation push. I'm sure, I mean, they owned by Jay-Z. Of course they have resources. But if the people don't respond to it, it does not move. If you, me, him, and her don't, you, me, him, and her, Dynasty, anyway, don't play this shit, then it doesn't have the level of success it has. So for the people out there that are trying to say that there was some sort of undercover fake thing going on with the Clipse, man, quit that lame shit, man. Z says, later this week, I'll be sharing part 2 of my conversation with Steven, where we run through the year-long process of building out the Clipse immaculate album rollout. So we're going to get a little bit of behind the curtains on how they put this entire rollout together later this week from Z. Once again, shout out to the homie Brian Zizek. Okay. Known this man for a long time. Always been solid. I told y'all. But now y'all see. Also want to give a big shout out to DJ Head and Gina Views, effective immediately. I don't know how many of y'all were tuned in to the interview that the Clipse did with them, but they had a really good conversation with Clipse on effective immediately. And in that interview, once again, we got Malice and Push basically saying that they're eager to get back in the studio. They're eager to get back to recording, and we're going to get another Clipse album sooner than later. So this is not the end of the saga, although this is an amazing piece of the saga. This is an amazing rollout. The music is good. The energy is good. But they are not leaving us anytime soon. I told y'all, I feel like Malice has the energy right now. He's in a groove. I think he's going to give us at least a couple years of Clipse to put music out, tour, and do all the things that they've been missing as a unit for many years. So 26, 27, I don't know. But we just gonna have to see how everything plays out. But they definitely said that they're ready to get back in the studio. They actually want to record this next project in either Virginia, the home base where they from, or Miami. Pusha T says he really doesn't want to have to record another album in Paris. So they're going to have to figure that part out. Like, logistically, how's that going to happen? Maybe Pharrell could take some vacation time away from Louis Vuitton. We're going to have to see. I don't know. I can't say what the future holds. I'm just giving y'all information as it's been relayed. I don't feel like going and clipping it up because it's not circulating around. But I did see that in the interview. Y'all could go check it out. Go on Effective immediately. DJ Head, Gina Views, interview with the Clipse. Salute to them, man. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be good out there. Enjoy the rest of y'all evening. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming, I swinging like Soldier Rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden, they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.